How about that? We won on Sunday.
A little better than yesterday, huh?
Left on base doesn't sting as much when you get the win, huh?
Yeah, one more than yesterday, and yeah, I mean, whether it's 30-29 or 3-2 or 1-0, you feel a lot better about winning. And I just thought the kids' mindset was a little different. We didn't hang on to failure as much today, and that's what we addressed: is try to stay present and be more positive. And you know, it's good hitting's infectious, RBI hitting's infectious, and when you leave guys on base, unfortunately, it's infectious, just like shooting a basketball. Or quarterbacks have good days and bad days, and receivers drop balls sometimes. And the mind can overcome the negative infectious stuff, and that's kind of what we chose to do, is try to stay present. If we're going to be any good as we get down to the stretch drive, we're going to have to turn around the mentality in that. We're not always going to have 8 free bases and 11 hits to pick and choose from. And I thought their pitch selection with guys in scoring position was pretty good. You know. On the positive side, we put the ball in play, which we've been doing all year, and had more free bases than strikeouts. So that always gives you a chance.
And Jake goes the opposite way for. You say that some guy, you didn't, with the runners in scoring position, that was the one time you had to get it, and you did.
Yeah, I was just teasing him. I said, who's got 2 thumbs and hit a double with guys in scoring position? It was like, you mean me, coach? It's like, and that's the infectious part. You got to remember those good at bats, because baseball, if you have a good at bat 3 out of 10 times in baseball, you're a pretty darn good hitter. And that's the problem. Some of us think about the 7 bad at bats or the 7 outs. They don't have to be bad at bats. And it's a vicious game. If you just, in my belief, you need to catch yourself being good as often as possible.
Then Stringer comes out and gave you a good Sunday start.
Yeah, he did a nice job. It was, we're obviously watching him close, because that 3rd time through the order, that's kind of been his deal. And Coop comes in and does a good job, and then gave up a long one. And Kenyon came in, and he wasn't dialed to pitch either. He was 2-0 in the first 2 hitters, and it's just a check swing ball through the infield. You're like going, oh no, and then he turns right around and gets a double play. That's mentality, and getting to the next pitch. And felt a lot better when there was 2 outs and nobody on, obviously.
Nice that your closer can give you 3.
Yeah, I guess that's the good news, that we didn't have to use him on Friday and Saturday, and have a fresh Kenyon Yovan's a good thing, no matter what 1-run or 2-run lead.
Would you not want to use Kenyon for 3, or have Cole Stringer go another inning or 2 before you brought him in? Or?
Oh, in a perfect world, yeah. But to save him for a midweek game, even though it's against the #1 team in the country, our league games are much more important than that. And make no mistake about it, we'd like to go over there and play well.
I mentioned last week that it does become a big one again to hopefully get this one in.
Yeah, and today was a big one, and the next game we play, whether it was the Beavers or anybody or the #1 team, every game that we have from here on in is a big one, and obviously it magnifies itself, because if you can go into Goss and beat a great Beaver team, you got a chance to get a little RPI boost, and so easier said than done. For some of these kids, it'll be their first time there with the people in the stands. We went over there and hit and hung out in the dugout. So we're looking forward to it. They're having an awfully good year, and did they win today?
They were ahead. I didn't see a final.
I think they were in the 6th.
Okay.
They're up 2-0.
Even the 7th.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're going to show up.
How important is the series win going into a competition like that?
It's not so much that game. It's just a series win. We've buried ourselves in the conference, and the good news is everybody's still beating everybody except for one team. Did they win?
They're up 4-0.
Okay, so except for one team, I think if the team's in the middle of the pack, whoever finishes the strongest, including next weekend at Washington State, has a chance to climb some teams, which I think becomes a more critical piece. And then for us, trying to finish as much over 500 as we possibly can. That's the deal. It isn't about the Beavers or anybody else. It's more about us.
You mentioned things getting a little dicey with Cole once he does get to that third time through the order. Do you feel like he kind of made some strides there today? And you would have been comfortable maybe going to him if you didn't have Jovan sitting there ready?
Yeah, we had some really good bullets. Coop pitched awfully well yesterday, and he was fresh. And then you got a fresh Kenyon. So for us to keep those guns in the holster and watch Cole let it slip away would not be fair to him. So I'm sure Cole probably thinking that's a quick cook. I could have got more, and we want him to think that way. And he was not disrespectful to Coach Dietrich or me. He's a team guy all the way. But whether it's one of our players we take out of the lineup, pinch hit for, or play day to day, the unselfish Duck just sees it from our side of it, the coach's side of it, doesn't like it, believes that he's the best man for the job, but accepts that. That's the tough thing in Division I athletics. None of these guys are crummy baseball players, and they've all been the focal point of the teams that they come from. They've been the guy that everybody wants up, and so that's an adjustment. And our kids do a tremendous job with that. They're real mature and real unselfish.